The moment she slid the ring across the table like a discarded coin, the world didn't shatter, it vanished. This man isn't my future. He's just a mistake I made in the past. Claire's voice was smooth, rehearsed, a blade wrapped in silk. The hum of the upscale restaurant silver. Vine bistro stilled. Forks hovered midair. Eyes darted. Phones, like vultures sensing carnage, rose to capture the spectacle. And me, I felt nothing. Not rage. Not sorrow. Just a hollow, howling silence. As if my soul had already left my body before the wound could register. She didn't even look at me. Just flagged down a waiter, her manicured fingers tapping the linen. Could I get a to-go box, please? As if she hadn't just executed me in front of 50 strangers. 3 years since I'd first told her I loved her at this very table, under the glow of the crystal chandelier. Tonight was supposed to be our anniversary. I'd planned it all: roses, the window seat, the velvet ring box, burning a hole in my jacket pocket. I thought she'd know. I thought she'd see it in my eyes and smile that way she used to. Back when her laughter didn't feel like a weapon. Instead, she stood before dessert, dropped her scripted grenade, and walked out without a backward glance. I didn't move. Not when the waiter hesitantly asked if I wanted the check split. Not when the couple beside us whispered, "Poor guy." Not even when the first raindrops hit the pavement outside, smearing the city lights into watercolor streaks. No direction. No thoughts. Just the echo of her words on repeat. Not my future. Not my future. A horn blared. A cab swerved. The driver's curses dissolved into the downpour. That night, for the first time in my life, I didn't feel alive, and she didn't call. My name is Daniel Carter. I've never been a man who needed chaos to feel whole. I liked quiet mornings, the hiss of coffee brewing, the weight of a book in my hands. Simple, predictable. Claire Montgomery was a hurricane in heels. We met at a bookstore, Haven and Prose, where she was berating a cashier over a creased dust jacket. "You expect me to pay full price for damaged goods?" Her voice, sharp as shattered glass, cut through the quiet. I shouldn't have engaged, but there was something about her, the way her dark eyes sparked with defiance. The way men 3 tables over straightened when she tossed her hair. Trouble. Beautiful. Intoxicating trouble. I paid for her book. She stared at me like I'd handed her a dead fish. "I don't need your pity. It's not pity," I said. "It's curiosity." 3 days later, we were on our first date. Claire didn't just enter your life, she claimed it. Within months, she'd moved into my apartment, rearranged my shelves, replaced my plain white mugs with delicate porcelain ones. "You live like a monk," she'd teased, running a finger along my jaw. "Let me fix that." And I let her, because being with Claire was like standing in the center of a wildfire. Exhilarating, all-consuming, and utterly unsustainable. The first sign was subtle. Fewer morning kiss. More nights where she'd roll away, her back a silent wall between us. Then came the perfume, something musky, expensive, not her usual scent. "Is there someone else?" I asked one night, staring at the ceiling. She laughed. "Not the light, melodic sound I loved, but something colder." "You're paranoid, Daniel? Always looking for ghosts." I wanted to believe her. Then I found the receipt. The Grand Oak Hotel, room 4 and 9, 2 glasses of Cabernet. That night, she came home late, her lips stained faintly red. "Work dinner," she said, kicking off her heels. I placed the receipt on the counter. Was this work too? For a fraction of a second, her mask slipped. Then she smirked. "Checking my pockets now." How pathetic. The fight that followed was volcanic. Words like suffocating and controlling ricocheted off the walls. But the worst part? The way she looked at me like I was a chore she'd grown tired of. Then came him, Ryan Whip. My best friend since college. The guy who'd stood as my best man at the wedding we'd never have. I saw the texts first. Claire's phone, left unlocked on the couch. "Ryan, tell him the truth. He won't leave unless you break him." The room spun. I confronted neither of them. Instead, I watched, listened, played the fool while they plotted my erasure. At a charity gala, one of Claire's glittering events, where everyone wore masks, I found them on the terrace, Ryan's hand on her waist, his mouth near her ear. "You deserve a man who can give you more than quiet," he murmured. She didn't disagree. That night, I began my own plan. I vanished. Not a note, not a trace, just an empty closet, a cleared bank account, and a one-way ticket to a coastal town where no one knew my name. For months, I let them believe they'd won. Then I returned. The Ritz-Carlton Grand Ballroom, Claire in red, Ryan at her side, basking in the spotlight. I didn't yell, didn't scream. I took the mic and played the recording air voices. Their laughter, their plans for the entire room to hear. The fallout was nuclear. Ryan lost his job, his reputation, his fiancée. Claire's sponsors dropped her. The media dragged her through the mud. And me, I walked away. Now, I live by the ocean. The waves are louder than my thoughts. The salt air has scrubbed Claire's perfume from my skin. Sometimes, at dawn, I find myself staring at the horizon, waiting for the anger to return. It never does, because the greatest revenge isn't destruction, it's indifference. And I've learned to wear it well.